Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Retro Wednesdays. We were off last week. Could say life got in the way.
We're part
Um,
timers now.
yeah, but let's hope that it didn't get in the way of my winning streak going into this Retro Wednesday here with going up against Matt in the 1970s.
That's right. The
So
1970s when
no more
LS.
assassination jokes from the 60s.
No, I don't think we had too many. Just a couple of, our problems with Iran started in the 70s. We had that one
Yeah,
period of time where you can only get gas on days where, like,
The,
if
the license plate
the
number,
license
right?
plate number, yeah, if it ended in an odd number, um, you could do it. This is obviously you couldn't do custom license plates back then, but
No.
uh, Watergate, Watergate was
What was
big.
the what is it? Billy Bob beer? Jimmy Carter's brother's beer?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
You didn't know that?
No.
So Billy beer.
Wait, maybe I did. Maybe we've talked about this before.
I would have figured you guys would know. Well, you and Brian are a little behind me on things anyway, so
Oh
maybe
yeah,
you might as
let's
well.
not get into that. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, it was promoted by Billy Carter, who's the older brother of Jimmy Carter, former president Jimmy Carter, R.I.P.
Yes. You know what? Jimmy Carter's such an interesting figure. I think he's like the not like he's like the perfect case study of presidents, and like he's such a good dude, or he
Yeah,
was such a great dude, but he was like too nice and too great, and it just didn't work out politically. But
well, didn't the Iran thing kind of screw him over in a way too?
yeah, that definitely
That's what
didn't
I
help.
heard.
And all the Love Canal stuff was put a big sore on his career. That was a big thing.
Well, then we
Um,
got the greatest president ever,
and one of them certainly.
Ronald Reagan.
I have interesting, like I go back and forth with them sometimes because there's so much good, but
But then
there's a lot of bad too. Like
yeah,
it's
I
tricky like that.
I just love the '80s, so he was the
Yeah,
president
I think that's part of the
for the
reason why
'80s.
I fell in love with them too. Because I just did my president's list, posted it on Friday, the 4th of July, and he was sixth, and he's been as high as three for me, depending on when you ask me. But I wanted to be fair, so I thought still a top 10, no doubt about it. But I like, yeah, I like him. He's cool. He's
He's a
cool in
good
my
guy.
book. Yeah,
He likes Jelly Bellies.
yeah, that's right. Um, that's right. So don't we all? So yeah,
Uh,
70s, man. It's cool. The hair was cool. Didn't we get a pop up football league around this time too? Didn't the
oh, the
World Football League?
World Football League.
That's where a lot of the Dolphins, like I know Sanka went there, right, for a little bit.
Yeah, Zonka Warfield kick. Who else was in there? I
Were they
think Danny
paying? Were
White.
they paying? What was the appeal of? I mean, obviously everybody loves a
Oh,
good.
they were paying.
Yeah.
They were paying because the one of the owners, what's his name, John Bassett, who was the Tampa Bay Bandits owner for the USFL, was
Eventually,
also a
yeah.
yeah, was also one of the owners in the World Football League, and I guess he was shelling out money, and that's why the Bandits weren't a team that shelled out money in the USFL because he was like, listen, we need to sustain the league, and we're not going to sustain it by paying these people an absorbent amount of money. I learned this lesson because I think it only lasted like a season and a half, though.
Yeah, well,
So
I know it wasn't a very relative long time because I was looking up when I was doing the football players and other uniforms page. I was looking up Sanka to look for some Giants highlights, and there was maybe a year or two gap in between.
yeah,
There's like that dead space. It goes from like 74 to like I think he comes back in 76 or 77. So it's not that not all that long. But yeah, I'm excited to do the 70s. Last time we did the 1970s. I think we had a pretty high scoring affair. I think it was
I
decent.
want to say so.
If I remember correctly, I probably should have had this ready to go. Let's see. Last time we did 1970. Oh, um, we did. It was not okay. My
It was
fault.
not.
It was. We both finished under 100 points, but you did. win 92 to 85.4. We did week 7 of 1970.
Okay.
So if we land on that week again, which we're doing a pretty good job of avoiding that. There's a plethora of players that we cannot choose from, but the 70s is an interesting time. I feel like that's like our parents' generation all became like this is like the birth of. I think we talked about this before, but this is like the birth of actual like dynasties, like big name house. Like you're either it felt like you were either a Raiders fan, Oilers, Steelers. This is big around that time. Dolphins, I think, are huge around this time. Yeah, Cowboys. Big part of this era. But
Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Which ushered into, my uncle said that Monday Night Football was great because you got to see all the highlights from all the games at halftime, and you never got to see that before.
Yeah.
You even on your local news would not do it, but so that's kind of huge.
Yeah, it was
in this way.
Game changer. And I invite everybody, like me and Andrew are nerds, right? We will go back and watch straight up old football games. And you can look up a lot of the stuff, like full games from the 70s. It's really cool to see the different style of play. But I love watching like the halftime shows and some of the presentations. The sets were just awesome. Like they feel very of the era. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they pop out. Like I think it's one of my favorite parts about this decade. It's just the presentation.
What was the one thing I sent you with the where they were introducing the players? And they ran out instead of, like the traditional today, like, hey, I'm so and so from this university.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a pre-recorded thing, and that's just ahead. Like these guys were like running out of a tunnel and then standing there. It was like Bob Greasy, University of Purdue, quarterback, and then all of a sudden, like Jim Kick and Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris would come out, and then the wide receivers would come out, and like the whole unit of the offensive line would come out. That was like. I thought that was so cool because that's still kind of my favorite part of any game is to look at the lineup. Like I don't know why I love the lineup.
It is a cool. It's like a very cool thing for like because it's something you can only appreciate at home. I think. Well, if you are in the stadium, a lot of times they do the announcing thing for the home teams. Like they'll call out. Like I know in Indy. Well, they do it in Buffalo too, but they'll announce the starters who, depending on which side. I did it previously, but depending on that, but they'll do the whole runout thing. So it's a really unique way. Production value is very, very important to me as a consumer of football, and I think that the 70s was really the true beginning of them putting effort into it. Like the 60s, okay, we're just happy we got football on television. But the 70s, we got to spice this thing up. And that's why I think football really started to break through as a mainstream sport. It's some of the best classic Super Bowls around this time period. And it was just, it was its highest peak, I think, at that point in time in this decade.
Yeah, there's like one announcer from like the 60s, early 70s, and all his whole entire thing was star. Completion dollar. Tackle Nitschke. That's all it was.
Yeah, and it's So it's a different era, I guess. But I like the improvisation. I like the steps forward, the progressiveness when it came to trying to change how football's presented, and it's kind of cool when you look at the game today and how. A lot of things that they do today were inspired by the efforts that they put in. Jesus, 50 years ago. Gross. I still think the 70s are 30 years ago.
I still think like the 90s are like yesterday. So
yeah, fair. All right. So let's take a look. We're gonna spin the wheel and see what decade we get. Or not decade. Jesus. We know the decade. Come on. Come on, Matthew. We know this. All right. So 70, 71, 72, 73. Making sure it's all good. Control Enter.
What do we get?
We moved up a whole year from last time.
71.
Yes, yes. 1971. Um, so that's what we got going on today. So let's get it up to it. I'm going to get the PFR going here, all seasons. So what do you want? You know the drill. You are the defending champion. You get champion's choice. Is it going to be first overall pick or first snake?
Let me. I'm gonna do first snake.
You're going to do first snake. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did that last time and it worked out for me. So
I
let's
think you did.
71. Jeez, what are we doing at 71?
Man, these pop-ups suck.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was looking at Staubach stats, but this is when they're still
Oh, these
he's
quarterbacks,
still
brother. Holy shit.
he's still rotating. He's still rotating with good old what's his name? Craig Morton.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my mind with these passing touchdowns. But hey, all right. With pissing me off already. Oh
Where's
my.
your first pick?
All right, I'm going to start off with from the Denver Broncos, the rushing yards leader in 1971, Floyd Little, who ran for 1,133 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. He also had 26 catches for 255 yards. So RB1, Floyd Little. All right. Stuart, yeah. Is he related to Stewart?
That's how you should read your books here, son. We're not doing no Stuart Little. We're doing Floyd Little today.
That's right.
Jeez. I'm gonna go with Steve Owens,
Who?
RB1 of those. Where were we at? Oh, Detroit Lions.
Oh, Jesus.
Ran for, jeez, even the rushing yards are. Well, this is 14 games, so ran for 1,035 yards, 8 touchdowns, 32 receptions for 350 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I'm hoping these 5 fumbles don't come back to bite me my ass. Is this the best? Yeah. Okay. Wide receiver 1, Otis Taylor,
Damn it.
Kansas City Chiefs. He's like the only one with anything. 57 receptions, 1,110 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Also ran for 25 yards and a touchdown.
Ooh, I don't know about like this. It sucks. He's not in top 10 in receptions, but he's top 10 in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. I'm going to take Paul Warfield here from the Miami Dolphins.
Well, that's because they like just ran and then
Miami
they were like, hey,
Dolphins. Miami
such
Dolphins.
a great song.
43 catches, 996 receiving yards, and 11 receiving touchdowns. He also took off for 115 receiving yards. So Paul Warfield.
You mean rushing yards?
Rushing yards, yes. Thank you. Sorry, I got distracted just a little bit here.
Oh, it's still you.
Yes.
Not the best here.
No. No, not quite. I'm going to. Oh God. Nope.
Not. Geez, who picked this decade?
Let's see here.
Oh,
I'm gonna go John Brockington from the Packers. Big John.
who?
His rookie year, 1,105 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. He had 14 catches for 98 yards and a receiving touchdown. I hate myself. Moving on.
I gotta look this guy up.
He's for the Packers. He's a fullback.
He had a pretty long career.
Yeah, not bad, right? 71 to 77. He only played for.
Three-time Pro Bowler
Yeah,
when Pro Bowls meant something.
that's true. That is true.
When Pro Bowls meant something. Should start a podcast called that. Uh, I'm gonna go round out my wide receivers with Mr. Stickum himself, Fred Biletnikoff of the Oakland Raiders.
Oh God, spelling.
Uh, yeah, I you actually have to concentrate on that. I just got to make sure it's close.
That's true.
Because you definitely don't want me spelling it. Matt knows that.
As long
100%.
what's the phrase for it? What is the uh damn, I can't think of the word for it. I was just thinking about NBA on TNT. If damn it. Kenny the Jet Smith said it to Charles Barkley one time. Phonetically. It's phonetic.
Oh yeah,
You have to make it sound phonetically correct.
yeah.
Look at the big brain on Brad. I missed that show. I really hope they don't fucking s- take the
ESPN.
balls out from underneath it. I really hope they just let them be.
ESPN will.
Yeah, most likely. Even McAfee shows kind of.
Yeah, I heard he's got to pay for his own crew, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh no, you don't have to do that."
Yeah, yeah. Don't want to put the bad press on him. You know,
Yep.
we warned him. Everybody disliked it when he announced he was going to ESPN. So now it's going to end up costing him. So, aha.
All right. So Fred Blindikoff, 61 receptions, 929 yards, and 9 touchdowns receiving. Not much of a runner, Mr. Blindikoff. Then I'm so scared to see what tight ends come up with, but I'm gonna go with RB2. Forgotten Cleveland Browns hero and Leroy Kelly.
You said running back too, Leroy
Yep.
Kelly.
Ran for 865 yards, 10 touchdowns. He also threw for 23 yards and 25 receptions for 252 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All right.
This is bad.
It's real bad.
I think I might actually do flexes before I even get to tight ends or anything else.
I'm not even like quarterback. I'm like, it doesn't even matter at this point.
There's no quarterback that stands out to me like looking at anything.
No, they're all have more interceptions than touchdowns. So that's fun.
And that rages you so much.
It literally hurts my soul. I'm gonna go wide receiver 2 here from the New England Patriots, Randy Vataha.
Oh,
You know,
that Randy Vataha.
Vataha. 51 catches, 872 receiving yards, and 9 receiving touchdowns.
The Samoan fella, is Rakishi going to be proud of you for this one?
Probably not. He's probably gonna complain. Oh, they call him Rabbit. Randall Edward Vataha. His nickname's the Rabbit. And I'm gonna follow that up with. I'm gonna follow it up with. I hope this works out. Dwayne Thomas for my flex. He has the most touchdowns on the season for 71. 793 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns. He also has 13 catches for 153 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. So Dwayne Thomas of the Dallas Cowboys is my flex.
Where am I going to go now? Wow, I can't believe Larry Zonka was only 25, but that's who I'm going to go with for my flex. Larry Zonka.
Flex for Larry Zonka.
Yep. Ran for 1,051 yards, 7 touchdowns, had 13 receptions for 113 yards and a touchdown. Oh, jeez. Um, I'm gonna go with tight end. Here we go. Ted Kowalczyk. Kowalik.
Maliki Leaky Laka is the
K
thing to
K
say. So-
K Kwallick.
Don't hurt yourself.
I love that part in Finding Nemo.
It's,
When
I just watched that this morning too.
Oh, did you?
I did
Oh,
because Bennett's been saying bubbles a lot,
oh, okay.
and yeah, so so I like the one that's like dude bubbles, you know.
Oh, no, I just love it when he's like, "Where do you live?" And he's like, and he's like, "Don't hurt yourself, kid." Okay.
Is you said it's Kwalik,
Kwalik.
Kwalick.
Yep.
All right, excellent.
62 rushing yards, 52 receptions, 664 yards receiving, and 5 touchdowns.
Excellent. That's your second, right? Yep.
That's my second.
Okay. So, my tight end, I'm going to go with Bob Tucker from the New York Giants. 59 catches, 791 receiving yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns.
I was looking at him, but I didn't like the games played versus the game started.
Oh, I didn't even know what to say. Oh, it's 12-12. I mean, it could be better, right? We already know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna have like 6 guys on a bye. All right,
There is no bye.
they'll find a way.
They'll find a way to
I'll catch them all on their DNP week. Oh Jesus! I guess we're gonna rip this bandage off. I'm gonna go John Hadel for quarterback 1 of the San Diego Chargers. Oh God.
your soul so much.
My balls hurt just talking about this.
Uh,
3,000. I just threw up in my mouth. 3,075 passing yards, 21 touchdowns,
oh,
25 interceptions. He also ran for 75 yards and a touchdown. So that's cool.
Geez.
John Hadel, everybody.
John. Wow, this is bad. Oh, it's like I was hoping it was still your pick.
Sorry. I was just, you know.
Oh man, I'm gonna go a 2-time Super Bowl winner, Jim Plunkett. And he threw for 2,158 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 16 INTs. But he also did run for 210 yards because he was, I believe, running for his life at this point.
Yeah. When did the Raiders really pick up? Like mid-70s?
Yeah, probably around.
Because they lost the
this time,
Super
around
Bowl in what? Third? They lost Super Bowl 2?
2.
Okay. And then yeah, they really stepped up in the mid-70s, so a little ways away.
Yeah, I would say early. They were probably the third most consistent best team when I think of AFC teams in the 70s. Steelers, Dolphins, Raiders.
Okay.
They're in that top 3. I mean, whoever how you want to put it, I'm not ranking them, but that's obviously.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I
Steelers
think
would
every
be
Raiders
number 1.
fan, just about every Raiders fan that I know, loves them from that time period.
Yeah, because they were bad boys.
Still are. All right, and you got one more.
Jeez, where do I want to go? go. No, well, there is no bias. Let's go RB3 with Bo Scott of the Cleveland Browns.
Bo knows.
Uh, ran for 606 yards, 9 touchdowns, 30 receptions for 233 yards and a touchdown. Bo Scott.
Bo Scott. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take
Yeah.
my RB3 here. And from the Rams, Willie Ellison, who ran for 1,000 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 32 catches, 238 receiving yards. So, all right. And
So, some great points up there.
we'll see. You know who my favorite, like, my still my favorite fantasy player that I've ever taken in this whole like run that you and I have been having.
Mm-hmm.
It's still Rudy Bukic.
Rudy Bukic.
I literally want like his jersey. Like that's how much I worship this man.
Just a random Rudy Bukic jersey.
Yeah. Oh dude, I already got my buddy hooked me up with somebody and got me the Tyler Warren jersey, which is the Colts' new tight end one.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna ruin his career just as soon as I open that jersey up. So I'm not, you know how it goes.
I want a Quinn Ewers one.
That'd be cool.
I'm kicking the tires on like the T-shirt ones that you can get.
Yeah.
It's a little more affordable than an actual jersey.
Yeah. I have so many now that are just sitting in totes.
Ewers went to school like 15 minutes away from me here.
High school or
High school.
okay. And he played at Texas, right? Like that was his. He's a long.
Yeah, he went to Ohio State and then he transferred to Texas.
That's
So I'm really hoping he kind of takes over for Tua.
we'll see. Yeah, never know. One rough hit away from that, unfortunately. All right, wide receiver 3. I'm going to take from the Chargers, Gary Garrison. 42 catches, 889 receiving yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. He also took off 1 time for 0 yards. So, Gary Garrison.
Nice. Gary Garrison. Sounds like a made-up neighbor on a sitcom show.
Mr. Garrison.
South Park?
Garrison. I miss Mr. Kennedy.
Never seen anything with Mr. Kennedy.
Oh, he was great. He was great.
I was out of it at that point.
He was the best. That he kept getting hurt, and then everybody hated him, so they pushed him out. I wanted to see him win a title so bad. He was like L.A. Knight is now.
Oh, where everybody loved him, and then
He got over organically, and they tried to push him, and then like Kennedy, he legit got hurt, and then they screwed him over a couple times. L.A. Knight, they just don't seem to want to do anything.
Why do they do that if you get over organically? Like, why don't you just say, "Oh my goodness, let's roll with this"?
Because
they pretty much, from what my understanding, they did it with Zack Ryder too.
Oh yeah. Well,
He
that
went
was a
out there-
different. That was a bit of a different era. But like when Kofi got over organically, they changed the plans for WrestleMania towards that, because they spend so much time in those meetings. Probably, I think, those booking meetings, and then when things don't go according to plan, they don't know what to do. Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota Vikings wide receiver 3, Bob Grimm.
Wide receiver 3, Bob Grimm.
Bob Grimm.
Is he related to Ben?
I believe so. I believe it was clobbering time at one point. These wide receivers run a lot.
They do. They do.
Mr. Grimm had 6 carries for 127 yards, but he also had 45 receptions for 691 yards and 7 touchdowns. Oh my goodness. Now it's time to pull teeth. Tight end 2, Dave Parks, the New Orleans Saints. Ran for -2 yards. 35 receptions, 568 yards, and 5 touchdowns. That's all I got to say about Mr. Parks.
All right. I'm going to take QB2 here. Well, I got no
Ooh.
choice. I only have 2 spots to do, so
Yeah.
better do it now. 1971. I'm going to – oh, geez. I should probably say his name first. Fran
Yeah.
Tarkenton, and I'm not going to say the year again, I promise. Oh, my God. Why did I do this? It doesn't matter anymore. 2,567 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. Oh, my God. I have a book from this guy. Now I want to burn it. Let's see if he makes up for it on his legs. Let's see.
He's
111 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. It closes the gap a little bit. I'll take that. I'm still mad about it, but honestly, it's slim pickings here. So, and then my last,
yeah.
I got look it up yet.
You might want to dig pretty deep in that bag. It's better hope you got a Mary Poppins bag looking for a tight end.
Okay.
Or-
I have Bob Tucker. You have Ted Kwolek. Oh, there's a few. There's a few options here. And you took
Got a
Dave
Barney
Parks.
bag.
I'm going to take Jim Mitchell from the Atlanta Falcons. 33 catches, 593 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns.
Your tight end would get cut if he had that today.
Well, you know what, though? No, they wouldn't. Especially if they played for the Colts. They'd get like 2 and 3 year extensions because that's all we do is maintain terrible, overrated tight ends. Hopefully it's changing, though.
I'm thinking it's going to change with the daughters.
I
If
hope
that
so.
was true, what I saw where she was on the sidelines wearing a headset,
Yeah, I hope so. Because
Maybe
this team is embarrassing.
maybe they're going to get a little spicy like Robert and just start kicking people around and firing people. Maybe you get like the fieriness of Robert but the good guy thing of Jim. And then it works out good.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm the only thing I'm mad about is that Jim Irsay doesn't get to fire Chris Ballard. But I hope, yeah, because I know it's coming. I don't think it's going to be good this year. But anyways,
Yeah, I feel the same way.
All right, pal. What is your QB2?
Oh, give me a beer and a smoke, Mr. Len Dawson, Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, we got through that pretty good. Let us. That's it, right?
You want stats?
Oh yeah, you should probably do that. My fault.
2,500 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, 13 INTs, and 24 rushing yards. And the man was 36 years old
Wow.
at this point.
Very good. All right, bud. I'm gonna skip on over here to the wheel.
Spin the wheel, make a
I just
deal.
gotta shave off a couple weeks. It's only 14, right?
Yeah, only 14.
All right. Just making sure it's lined up on the screen for us all to view. And here we go.
Need some wheel music. Wheel music. Wheel music.
All right. We have week 13. So
13.
week 13 of 1971. That is what we're going to be taking scores from, everybody. We'll be right back in literally 5 seconds with the scores. All right, we are back, all tallied up. I'm excited. I definitely took some steps forward from the previous time we did the 1970s, so I am excited for that. Andrew, what do we got? Are we doing 4-peat? We got a 4-peat going on today?
I don't know. If you took steps forwards, I feel like this is the Paul Abdul opposite of track songs, where you take 2 steps forward, and I'm looking like I'm taking 2 steps back.
Oh. That excites me. All right. From the sound of things, maybe you should start off this week. And yeah.
Okay, I will. So I had no negative points this week. I'll
That's
put
a
that out.
positive. That's positive.
So I had Mr. Jim Plunkett for QB1. He threw for 106 276 yards, lighting that field on fire. One INT, four touchdowns, or I'm sorry, four sacks, no touchdowns. And then he ran for 52 yards, giving me 10.5 points.
All right. How is Mr. Lenny Dawson?
Oh, Lenny Dawson did much better with 14. Should have. That was my guy too, and I was like, should I go Len Dawson or Jim Plunkett? I was like, I'm going Plunkett.
Len Dawson crushed it for me, I think. Couple weeks ago. Well, probably about a month ago with all the breaks we've been taking. Yeah, I had a 6 touchdown game from Lenny Dawson in the 1960s. Much younger. Much younger. It was like 7 years earlier than this. So.
Oh yeah, in the 60s.
Yeah, 64, 65 maybe.
Yeah,
All right.
Much better.
All right, on the other side of things, my quarterback won. John Hadel, the San Diego Chargers, immaculate game. 332 passing yards, 22 points. 4 passing touchdowns, 24 points. No interceptions, took 2 sacks for -2, 44 points in total. Fran Tarkenton, man, this might be my lowest score of all time. He got 2.
2?
He got 2. He was not good.
That's still, I believe, like 3 points.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. I was over dramatic.
Oh.
Hold on. Now, yeah, I did -12 for 2 interceptions instead of -4. So 10, 16, 12, 10. He got 10. 10. So, all right. On to your running back.
This is New York Giant Frank Tarkenton, huh?
I think so.
RB1, Steve Owens. 65 yards rushing, 4 receptions, 22 yards receiving for 12.7 points.
12.7. Okay.
Let me find them Cleveland Browns. So I went with Mr. Leroy Kelly for RB2. He had 23 yards passing. And then after that, 13 yards rushing and 1 touchdown, giving me 8.3 points.
8.3.
And Mr. Bo Scott would have been the right answer for this Cleveland Browns running back with 18.7 points.
Oh, Jesus. You are notorious for that.
Yeah.
My running backs were pretty consistent. I'm pretty happy about them. It looked a little underwhelming, but I'm glad that it panned out the way it did. All right, RB1, Floyd Little, 96 rushing yards for 9.6, 1 rushing touchdown for 6, 1 reception for 8 yards, 1.8, 17.4 for Floyd Little. John Brockington, 63 rushing yards for 6.3, 1 rushing touchdown for 6, 2 receptions, and 34 yards for 5.4 points between the receiving and receiving yard stat, 17.7, and then Willie Ellison, 12.2.
The Brock in there. The Brock. That's what I'm just going to refer to him as. Wide receiver 1, Otis Taylor. 8 receptions, 113 yards receiving on a touchdown, 25.3 points. Wide receiver 2, Freddie Bolitnikoff, 6 receptions or 52 yards, giving me 11.2. And then, what was his name? Bob Grimm? 2.2
Yes.
points.
2.2
points for Bob Grimm.
All right.
And that was my wide receiver 3 for Bob Grimm.
Okay. My wide receiver 1, Paul Warfield, not great. 3 receptions for 3. 28 receiving yards for 2.8, and then 2 rushing yards for 0.2, 6. Randy Vataha from the Patriots, 4 catches, 56 yards, 10.6 points. And wide receiver 3 got a lot. It's Gary Garrison, 16.1.
Gary Garrison coming up big. So I got my tight end here, Ted Kolek. All right, so we had his name going. I had his name going so good. He had 12 yards rushing, two
Oh,
receptions for 12 yards, giving me 4.4 points. Uh, Dave Parks had 4.9.
okay. Tight end one, Bob Tucker, 5 catches, 54 receiving yards for
Jeez.
10.4. Jim Mitchell on the bench, 6.2. And then when you read off your flex, go ahead and read off your final score.
Okay. Flex. Larry Zonka. So it's a repeat score. I don't think we've ever had back-to-back same scores. He had 44 yards rushing, no receptions, no anything, for 4.4 points. Total points 76.3.
76.3.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, the cherry on top of my week vacation ice cream. Dwayne Thomas, 94 rushing yards, 9.4 points, 2 rushing touchdowns for 12, 21.4 points, and my grand total is 127.5. So
127?
that's what I got.
Oh,
That was a lot better than I thought. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got to do one more game before we could do our All-Star week. And I don't have a chance with this because you won 3 weeks, and I can only win 2 at the most. So you will get choice for our All-Star like monthly
okay.
one, but for next week, God permitting, because we love our vacations here, I would like to go to the 1990s.
90s. Jerry Rice, huh?
Yeah, well, I get points out of them. I don't know about you. But all right, everybody. Of course, make sure you check out Eat Sleep List every single Monday and Friday on the Eat Sleep List YouTube channel. We're currently in the middle of a U.S. President's Poll Tournament. So if you want to go vote. Oh God, I speak it in Canadian.
Oot.
If you want to go vote, polls close
For the Prime
every single
Minister, eh?
Friday. What's that?
For the Prime Minister, eh?
Yes. We got a couple good matchups in there for this week. I'm liking. We got the Battle of the Roosevelts. All right, Teddy and FDR. There's a couple other good ones. So if you want to go and vote, please like and subscribe, so you know and so you see when the polls are up. But yes, please support that channel.
Go right here in the Nostalgia Funhouse YouTube channel. We are starting to do videos of our podcast. We just put up the Mac and Me sequel where Johnny does a pitch for Mac and Me. That is up there as well. This coming week that's coming up there, we're doing our retro rewind where we look at I'd say an old cartoon lineup that we might find on that we can easily find on YouTube and go back and look at that, rate it, see how we feel about it. So check that out. That'll be NBC 1991 lineup. Also, check out me on the Retromade podcast. Shout out to Katie for having me on as I review Curly Sue with her. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Nope, that's pretty much it. So, with that being said, what may not be nostalgia for you may be nostalgia for some.